thank you so much for making time to speak with me. And right off the top, congratulations on new music. What is it like to release a new album when knowing what's going on with the rest of the world? Because as we speak, of course, a lot of people are on lockdown because of the coronavirus. How is that? What's it like to release new music in this time? And how are you doing? And how's the family holding up throughout this time?
Well, awesome. Well, first and foremost, thank you for asking all of the above, and thank you for having me on with you today. I really appreciate the opportunity. And I think, to speak about releasing a record during these times where, obviously, I don't think anyone knows anything. No one knows what to do, whether it's releasing a record or whether it's going up to the supermarket to figure out how you're going to what you're going to get at the market, or if you got to line up, or what you got. All of the above. So, all of that being said, the way that I really have always approached music from day one, when I first felt like a buzz, the energetic buzz around music, the fire inside, has always been to try to share that buzz and joy and love of music, energetically through emotional expression through music. And I really am grateful for the opportunity to share music in my lifetime. And I think, the idea of approaching music from that place to be of service, that maybe, if there's something that I can do or share music from my heart, and if it happened to make somebody's day a little bit better, then that's the most amazing gift that I could think of to receive, for me to receive. And so during this time where, I think we all need a little something extra, if this music can resonate with somebody and shine a light in their world for even for 5 minutes, if it did that, that would be the most incredible blessing. And I welcome that. So the release, long answer, to be able to release music at this time is a privilege, because it's a privilege to make music and to share that with us. So the intention is that I hope it's spreading some goodness right now and spreading some joy.
And when we're talking about great music, we are talking about your music, my friend. You've got that blues, jazz, southern rock, folk. Like, I can keep going on, but raw is the word that comes right off the top. Where did that sound come from? And also, do people kind of get confused and thinking that maybe you're from like Tennessee or somewhere down southern states?
Well, I certainly spent quite a bit of time in Tennessee and Nashville with my good friend Dave Cobb. We made some records there over the years, and certainly the music, my favorite music, a lot of my favorite music, I should say, comes from parts of the U.S. and parts of America, which I'm sure originates in other parts of the world. But I think that at this time we've come to know, say, from some of the roots music areas of America and Canada too, for that matter. But the whole idea was to really try to capture what the music sounded like in the studio as it was going down, and that's my favorite kind of recordings, are the ones that have some air in them still. Not the ones that are necessarily Ziploc tight. Those are cool too. I mean, that's always great to listen to, but I want to hear somebody breathing as they're leading up to the microphone, about to sing something. I want to hear, those little nuances that almost, if you're listening in headphones, you could be there in the room too. I love that energy that comes through the live takes in the studio. That's really what's always turned me on. So I'm glad to hear that that's translating through these recordings. Thank you.
Growing up, though, what made you pick up the guitar, and who were your influences growing up?
Well, yeah, I mean, growing up, my mom and dad always played such cool music at home. A lot of them were great guitar heroes. Everybody from, if you start with Chuck Berry, right, then all the way to, say, Mark Knopfler and Ry Cooder, Eric Clapton, Stevie Ray Vaughan, Buddy Guy, Albert Collins, Freddie King, B.B. King, with all this great music that was always happening in the house. The Beatles, Stones, Kinks, all of this and more, a lot of classical music. So it really came from my parents' record collection. First concert I ever saw was Eric Clapton with Mark Knopfler when I was a kid, and that really turned me on. And then, of course, learning about Stevie Ray Vaughan and his music and certainly the impact that he left in this world. It was sort of a gateway to all of these heroes, and they set the watermark so high. It's a lifelong journey to try to keep getting better and to honor the lineage of where this music comes from.
I want to mention two artists, Uncle Kracker, Melissa Etheridge. How did they affect your career?
Well, in different ways, but both in really powerful ways. At the time when I first met Uncle Kracker, my wife and I had moved to Los Angeles from Toronto, and I had been playing with Jeff Healey for about 4 years prior to that, and we had toured the world for a long time, and Jeff was really an incredible mentor and friend to me, and he was really instrumental in helping me get going. And so the next move was to go to Los Angeles and get going, and a producer that I knew gave me a call and said, "You want to come play with Uncle Kracker? He's looking for a cat that can sing and play." And I just moved to LA. We didn't know anyone. I'm like, "Yeah, let's do it." So, and he happened to have a hit that was number one for 28 weeks at the time when I joined with him, which was a song called "Drift Away," which was originally by Dobie Gray.
I remember
Beat Boys.
Yeah,
and so it was a really wonderful. Yeah, it was crazy. It was a crazy time to be touring with them and doing all the TV shows, and everywhere you went, every city in North America, it was like that song was coming out of, pipes and buildings. It was everywhere. It was coming out of the ground. It was the most amazing experience. So, to really run with that buzz was a great learning experience, which I'm thankful for. I learned a lot about the business and learned a lot about playing in that type of setting. I'm thankful for it. And then with Melissa Etheridge, it was she is somebody that had sold already 30 plus million records in her catalog and already a household name. And again, she was like a mentor to me in that every night she went out, she delivered. I mean, she as far as I'm concerned, there is no better rock and roll singer on the planet. I mean, she's just the real deal, and she gave me a lot of room to play, and again, really coached me on how to get ready to enter into my own career. I'm very thankful for her. And
I'll kick myself if I don't go back with Jeff Healey. When did you meet him, and what was it like 4 years performing with him? I mean, that's an artist. My God, I miss so much, which is why every time Roadhouse is on, I watch it.
Oh, you know what? That me too. I watch Roadhouse. No offense Patrick Swayze is badass. I love Patrick Swayze, but I watch that movie when it's on just for the little clips of Jeff. Because,
same here.
You just get you get like 5 seconds of him playing something, and they cut to him, and you're just like, just immediately. He's just so energetic and had so much power, and well, I mean, what a gift, one of a kind. And yeah, Jeff was. So when I was first getting started in Toronto, I started going out to the clubs and had started doing some recording, and a really, really dear friend, mutual friend actually, of Jeff and mine, Corey Miluk, he invited Jeff out to a show, and Jeff came kind of unannounced. And I'll never forget it because my friends were at the gig, and, we were playing, and suddenly everybody got really, really loud in the room after the songs. And, yeah. And I'm thinking, what's happening here? Why is everybody so excited all of a sudden? And then, we finished the show and then packed up, and my friends were like, "Dude, Jeff Healey was here." They didn't know, right? So that's why they were making all this noise, because they want, they were excited. And so anyway, fast forward a couple months, Jeff and I ran into each other in Kensington Market. We ended up sitting in Toronto. We ended up sitting in together where Jeff was. It was crazy. Jeff picked up the bass and he goes, "You play guitar." What?
Oh my God!
So we ended up, yeah, it was freaky. And so we were sitting in, here we were, we jammed on a couple of Cream songs, like a Robert Johnson, like Crossroads, Spoonful, that kind of, really gets in. We jammed on some of these songs for a bit, and we left and got into, at the time, my manager's car. Jeff was sitting right in front of me, and he just turned around and said, "Do you want to join my band?" And my mouth dropped open. I think I was about 19 at the time, and Jeff was one of my major influences and inspirations. And so, first of all, I was nervous enough just being near him, and then he invited me to join the band, and he just said, this is the kind of guy Jeff was. He said, just to say about him, he just said, "I want you to join the band, and we're gonna tour all over the world. We're gonna play on big stages, and we're gonna groom you. We're gonna teach you how to do that, and then we're gonna send you out and do your own thing. How's that sound?" And I'll never forget it, because he was a man of his word. And at every stop, at every city, in every country that we ever went to, Jeff he always gave me a chance. He always passed me the puck. You know what I mean? It's like playing hockey with Sidney Crosby. And he always made a play that was like, what is happening? How did he do that? You know, it was like, you just have to always, with that same instinct when you hear people who play with Sid, it's kind of like, you just got to keep your eyes open and you stick on the ice and wait for the pass, because it's always going to be magic, right? And that's what it was like playing with Jeff. He was, I get kind of choked up thinking about it sometimes. I love that guy. He was really, you know, on stage and off stage, he was a very special guy. He's a huge place in my life. Yeah.
Man, thank you for that story. Amazing. Absolutely amazing. Let's jump ahead. Let's talk about the new album. What's the new album called, and how does it represent your life right now, today?
Well, thank you for asking, and, you know, for shining a light on this new record. So the record is called Spirit Rising, and it just came out, and I couldn't be more delighted. And it's really a snapshot of some of the things that, you know, I've personally been going through over the last couple of years, some of which were actually the worst things I've ever gone through, ever. And some other things were good, you know, but ultimately a lot of learning, a lot of life learning. I lost my dad not too long ago, and it really changed my family, changed our entire world. And I think a lot of love and a lot of influence that came from my dad and is in this record.
I'm going to jump in because one of the things I love about with your music is when you play that guitar. And what kind of guitar is it?
Well, you know, I usually play Fender Stratocasters, but there's also some Gibson SG on here and some Nash Resonator as well. But for the most part, it's you know, a lot of old Fenders.
And the reason why I ask that is because honestly, the way you play, it's like it's another vocal. You know what I mean? Like you really resonate your soul through that guitar, and we can hear it. How emotional can it be sometimes for you when you're performing like that?
That's really beautiful. Thank you for sharing that. You know, I think as far as I can get out of my head and into my heart, I mean, you know, you can. Sometimes I feel like the mark of a good show is when, you know, you finish the show and you got back to whether it's the dressing room or the hotel or whatever, and you're like, I don't really remember anything from that show. Not because you were disconnected, but because, you know, you were in a place where you, in some ways, I was able to turn my head off and just play from my heart, or try to play from a place where hopefully I can be receiving something and sharing that, you know, something bigger than us that connects us all. You know what I mean? Like a spiritual guidance through the playing, and so that's a lot of times it can become overwhelming to a place of tears or to just a place where you're laughing. Yeah, it's all about, I think, trying to connect with that emotional place.
Because again, as we speak, you know, they're saying that there may not be any kind of live performances until 2021, and a lot of artists are doing live streaming performances. Are you going to be doing the same thing? Yeah, and so I've been keeping active on social media platforms and doing some live streams and, you know, sharing all kinds of new stuff about the record. And so, you know, I really feel like it's a good time for the record to come out because, you know, again, with the intention of it serving as a friend for people during this time, you know, I think, again, sharing that emotion, sharing that energy, and really just trying to, again, put a friend out there, shine a light during a dark time, and I hope it resonates with people in that way. You've definitely done it, my friend. Then social media is the place to follow. Where do we go to follow you right now?
So, yeah, thanks for asking. So, you know, Facebook, Instagram is good. My website, philipsayce.com. YouTube is good. I don't spend a lot of time on Twitter because it's become, over the last couple of years, it's been a pulpit for president. And I don't really, anyway, I have no more to say about it. I think that says it all. So, so don't spend a lot of time on Twitter, but, you know, it is a useful tool for certain things, but that's just a personal choice for me. But I am definitely on other social media platforms. Although I have to say, there's only so much time. I mean, I know some people are on all day. I would much rather play my guitar and write a song and sing something than spend 7 hours on social media, but I do enjoy it as well. You know, it's like at this time where everything's closed and sometimes you don't even know what day it is. You know, you can really get sucked into the social media vortex. You got to kind of try to balance that carefully.
My friend, I dig everything you're saying. I absolutely agree with you. Look, thank you so much for the time to speak with me. Looking forward to at least maybe sometime in the future, man, we can actually do this in person. We can shake hands, and I can be in the audience for your performance, man. I would really love to be there for that.
That's so kind. So kind. Thank you. Thank you. And, you know, I welcome the opportunity to say hello in person. Yeah, that would be, I mean, this is great, too. Thank you for having me on. But, yeah, we'll have to definitely have a 5 in person one of these days soon, and hopefully sooner than later. You know, and I hope that you and yours are staying safe and healthy as well. You know, it's a crazy, crazy time.
Yeah, we definitely are, because we're busy listening to your music, so it's all good, my friend. Look, you be safe and hopefully talk soon. Take care, and thanks again.
You take care and stay safe, too. Take care. Have a great weekend.
You too. Bye-bye.